I know, chasing that dough, hitting that road, getting that money, man. All I know, loading that foe, kicking down doors, getting that money, man. We gon' make it money. We gon' take it grizzly. We gon' make it money. We gon' take it grizzly.
The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is, should Derek Chisora retire? And he has something to say. G, please fill us in.
All right. As y'all can see, our buddy said, F retirement. I'll be back in the summer. Bees. You know what I'm saying?
Bees. So I'm going to turn it over to you. Trill Dollar Bill. Should Derek Chisora retire?
You're on mute, Trill.
I said this on the last segment. I was like about his fans and how they keep him up. I think his fans need to tell him it's time to sit down. I know y'all love Del Boy. You know, you love his heart. Like I said, he even won me over. I don't think he's the most skilled guy in there. But what he does have is heart, will, and a warrior spirit. And with guys like that, you have to save them from themselves. He's not going to stop fighting ever. It's just in him. He's a warrior. This is all he knows. Like I seen this clip I was trying to find on my phone where he was talking about other people don't want to train. They give up and say they don't want to train. It's too hard and stuff. Not him. He lives for this. You know? But when see him take those shots in there, and that's where when you was talking about Joseph Parker, he knows what Chisora has done, the type of fights that he's been in, the type of wars, the type of punches he done took. Joseph Parker knows this is his friend. So he didn't want to go in there and hurt him and do guillotine style and hurt him. This is a sport at the end of the day. And he's a gentleman. And he wants his guy to go home and be able to spend his time with his loved ones. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, at the end of this sport. You know, this sport is dangerous. It doesn't give you. I love this sport so much. Y'all know I love boxing so much. But it can be cruel. It can be cruel. It could be cruel to these fighters. And I think he's a warrior. Nobody can never take that from him. I think he showed us enough. I think he did enough. What do we want to see him do? Keep getting concussions and keep seeing him getting hurt in there? That's what we want to see him. I don't want to see him end his career laid out and not being able to enjoy like his daughters, his family. I don't want to see that. Not in this sport. Nah, it's too many times. Too many times we've seen these guys. Nah, I want him to enjoy his family, enjoy his life. He gave enough to this sport. You know, that's just how I feel. I'm sorry. But I want to give him his flowers. And I want to say thank you. If you do decide to retire, you know what I'm saying? I just want to say thank you. You know, because you did change my opinion on a lot of things. And it's your heart. I want to salute your heart and your warrior spirit. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes, you know, some of these fighters got to be saved from themselves. We've seen this in the past when fighters was supposed to have been retired and they kept going on. And we've seen what happened to these fighters. I just don't want that for him. I just don't want it for him. I'm sorry.
All right. I'm going to turn it over to Conspiracy G.
Yeah, I agree 1,000 with Trill on this one. And the more so, though, because the amount of punishment he takes per fight. Like his style, like the defense is poor, right? He kind of has like a bootleg Frazier style, but he's not really good at it. So he takes so many punches. Like he's literally a puncher bag in the ring every fight, with the exception of the Dillian White, the second one. I felt like his defense was pretty good. Like I felt like that was the best Chisora we could get for his capabilities and his skill set and his IQ. Beyond that, it's sad because I would rather see him get knocked out by one punch than watching him every fight, the accumulation. So to me, I look at Joseph Parker like, you was really his friend, you would have just took him out quick. The fact that you just kept hitting him all 12, I'm like, do you really like this guy? You know, so Chisora, and as we can see from that tweet, my man's real stubborn. His promoter, somebody got to just step in and be like, yo, listen, I know you the O2 Arena King, but yo, these fans don't love you, bro. Like the fact that they keep cheering for you to come back is outrageous to me. Like enough is enough. Like I remember with the Wilder fight with the trilogy, he took so much punishment that I was even nervous. Like, damn, will Wilder ever be the same? You know, with Chisora, I haven't seen Chisora get body back like that, but he takes so many punches that I'm like, how many concussions has this dude experienced throughout his career? You know, and to me, he's not beating any elite guy anymore, right? He's an official gatekeeper. It's cool, but I think you've done enough for the sport. Maybe it's time to just hang it up, bro. Like, pass the baton on to another gatekeeper, but you've done enough, man. It's just dangerous, man. And I like Chisora, I like the antics. I like him throwing stuff. He always makes press conferences entertaining. But again, in the ring, he doesn't hold that. He doesn't hold weight, man. It's sad, man, but he got to give it up. I know what he's thinking is like, nah, I'm too nice for this. I could still hang with the big boys. No, you can't. It's just, at this point, he might even get beat by Gerald Washington. Matter of fact, he might even get beat by Eric Molina, son. I'm being honest, man. Like, this guy is just, he ain't got it no more.
You're going too far, G. You're going too far, G.
Am I?
Yeah.
All right, man. Listen. When a guy doesn't even care about punch placement, he just swinging wildly, bro. Like IQ's out the door now. At this point, it's just like I'm gonna just fight like a barbarian. This is just I'm just swinging. Hopefully, I land something. That's not boxing, man. So I don't know, man. I think Chisora would do himself a huge service if he just said, you know what, I'm just gonna retire. I don't know if he could be a commentator, but maybe he could. Timothy Bradley's a commentator, so anything's possible out here. So
watch your mouth, G. You said that's your favorite commentator.
Yes. You know why I like him? Because he's reckless. Chisora's reckless, so it might work for him. But boxing is just, man. Listen, it's over, man. It's just really over. And not to mention Chisora, for some odd reason, anytime it don't even matter if he takes a punch or not. His legs fade like midway through a fight. And I'm just like, man, like, what's going on? Is your cardio right? Like, I don't know. It's just so much about Chisora that gets me so nervous that I don't think he should continue on, man. Because, again, like what Trill said, this sport, man, it could be ruthless, and he can mess around and die in the ring. And I don't want to see that. I don't think anybody wants to see it, including his delusional fans at the O2. So Chisora, man, you did so much. You entertained me. You're a funny dude. We love you. Just retire, bro. That's all you got to do.
Never TBE.
All right, Chisora, you're 37 years old, man. And
37 years young.
Yeah, 37 years young. My bad.
You look 47.
And ain't nobody here to tell you retire. I ain't here to tell you retire, man. Yeah. You know how your body feels. You know how you take a punch, man. You know how you throw them. So I say, it depends how you look at your next fight, man. This fight wasn't your best showing. You let yourself go in a year span because you was looking solid against Usyk. I was rooting for you, and you was looking solid against Joseph Parker in that first fight. But this fight, I don't know what you did. You was too bingy on the fish and chips too much, the cookies and the brews, and it made you lose. So
I think he looked in better shape this one than the first fight with Parker. I think he lost, bro.
Nah, he looked a little bloated this fight, man. He looked bigger this fight. I didn't like what I saw from Chisora. But you saw when you're in shape, when you're focused, you're better fighting them on what we saw last night. Yo, get it together, man. If you're gonna continue in the sport, get it together. That's all I gotta tell you.
Yo, Ned, I thought we were all gonna be in agreement on this segment. Thank you, Ned. You just had to be the one that tells you.
I wouldn't jump at Ned just yet, but doesn't mean that I disagree with you guys. It just means that I believe in a fighter's right to choose. I understand where you're coming from and where Trill's coming from. I think of fighters like James Lights Out Tony, and I think of Big Daddy Riddick Bowe, and I say like Chisora really has to think: do the means justify potentially speaking like James Lights Out Tony later on in life? Do the means justify being like Big Daddy Riddick Bowe? And if he feels like they do, then who am I to tell him not to box? People risk their life doing so many crazy things every day that we don't even think about, and even for their career purposes. There are people who, for example, coal miners, they subject themselves to conditions that may lead to them developing health complications later on in life, but they do that job to provide for their family. I found this out. Those people who clean windows on tall buildings, they make like 6 figures a year.
Because they die.
Because they fall and they die.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Just to clean windows. So I say all that to say, who am I to tell Derek Chisora not to step in the ring? There are people who work other jobs. At least Derek Chisora has the chance to hit whoever's hitting him back. I can't even imagine me being up at like the 150th floor, wipe down a window, and all of a sudden my harness breaks and I'm going down. And I'm just thinking to myself, man, I wish I was a boxer. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you usually die before you actually land on the ground. You die from the shock, they say. So
I don't know. It's never happened to me, so I can't go off of what they say or what you say. I'm just saying, even before the shock kicks in, one floor before the shock kicks in, I wish I was a professional boxer. Oh, shock kicking, I'm dead. Now, the point I'm making, all jokes aside, right, is we choose. We choose what we do. We choose what we can live with. Mm-hmm. Derek Chisora, there are fights out there for him. Oh, and they'll be more than willing to give them to him. I can see the Juggernaut stopping him. I can see Daniel Dubois stopping him. I can see them giving them to up-and-comers like Jared Big Baby Anderson. I can see them trying to get him in there with Frank Sanchez.
I'm not co-signing none of that.
I'm not co-signing it, bro. What I'm saying, though, are these are opportunities for Derek Chisora to stay relevant and to make money. And he has to look at it like, because as a boxer, people get lost in the sauce, right? All they see is the money these guys make per fight, and they don't understand that this is money that this guy has to use for his entire lifetime. So as a fighter, as a professional athlete, you make so much money at like, say, a stage of like 5 to 10 years of your life that's supposed to last you a lifetime. And most of these athletes and these fighters don't have a skill that would allow them to have a profession that they can get that would allow them to continue to live the lifestyle that they're living. Even if they had a skill, even if, say, they were a decent lawyer or a decent doctor, the lifestyle that they grow accustomed to living from the salaries they make from these limited windows of time in their life, it still wouldn't support that lifestyle. It would support a good lifestyle. It would support a great lifestyle for the average person. But for someone who's made like 50, 60, 100 plus million in the span of like 5 years, the lifestyle they grow accustomed to living can't be supported with regular jobs, even announcer jobs. That's why you see some of these fighters are broke. Some of them end up having to do things. That's why you see some of them end up doing these exhibitions, because they bad with money. So again, who am I to tell Derek Chisora not to make as much as he can? Because this is what this window in time that we're talking about closing on Derek Chisora is the most amount of money he's ever going to make to support his family for the rest of his life. I would love for there to be like, you know, they got Real Housewives of Hollywood. They got, you know, Housewives of this. They got Love and Hip Hop. They got, where's the boxing show like that? I would love to see it. You know, the old retired boxers trying to get through life, just being, and Derek Chisora, his fans love him so much. Support him doing that. Support Tony Bellew doing that. Support David Haye doing that. There it is right there. Make that show. Just give the Boxing Bros their credit. Have us, you know. But my point is there are other ways to make money now. Instead of using your head as a punching bag. You know, other people don't understand that. So I'm just close with this. I see where you and Trill are coming from with retirement. And I think it's best for his health that he retire. Look at Andre Ward. Look at Sean Porter, for example. But look at them and also realize these are two intelligent people who set up for life after boxing. Sean's going to be a commentator. He's already got his thing planned out. Andre Ward is commentating. He's already got his thing planned out. So he's good. And you look at Andre Ward, you know that's someone who has financial literacy, someone who's physically responsible, someone who understands the game. He never walked around with Balenciaga this, Fendi this, whatever that. He never cared about the jewelry and all that stuff. He was physically responsible. And you look at someone like Sean Porter, he goes shopping at K&G's. Even as a professional, he go to K&G's to get his suits. So you know he's cheap. So I say all that to say, you know, I'm not worried about these brothers. Chisora, it's up to you. But you got to decide, do the means justify you being James Lights Out Tony or Riddick Bowe in the end? And if you're okay with that, then I'm okay with that.
Let us know how you feel in the comment section. Please like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. You know who we are. We are the Boxing Bros.